Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it's time for our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube number 312. It's so much fun. I have interactive for you today, and no, you don't have to be a die cutter. There's not a die to do this, but I have interactive for you today at prices that are wahoo kachoo. I have two exclusive items, yay! And wait for it. Are you waiting? I have a trimmer. I know everybody's mouth, their jaws just dropped. I have a trimmer, and we're going to be offering it to you at an unbelievable price because you're going to need it or something like it to do what we're going to be doing today. Now, I am taping this YouTube super early in the week, and that is because Mr. SMS is going to be going in for his quadruple bypass in just under 24 hours. So, fingers and toes crossed, lots of prayers that everything's just going to run as smoothly as possible. I will do my best to keep you updated via Facebook. And you should know, even if you don't belong to Facebook or you don't have a Facebook username or login, you can still go to our Facebook page. It's a public page. So you're able to see everything that's going on without necessarily having to be a Facebook user. So, Mr. SMS heads into surgery tomorrow. I'm taping early. No, you're a winner. Chicken dinner. You're a winner. Chicken dinner. None of that today, because if I picked the names, if we had our software pick the names from the people who have posted already, well, it would be very early in the week, and those who are still watching YouTube number 311 with all the penny black goodness, they wouldn't have a chance to go into the running. So we will announce winners from 311 and 312 on YouTube class number 313. And I hope to be in the store on Saturday to do the free make and take, but I'm not even sure I'll be there. And if not, SMS Curls, Claire and Doris have got it covered just in case. So by the time you're seeing this, Mr. SMS will have had his surgery, and again, just hoping for lots of positive thoughts and prayers and continued blessings, and we're just going to sail right through this because I told him, there is no option, dude. You're stuck with me. He's like, huh? And we just celebrated our 24th wedding anniversary, so it's all gonna be good. Now today I have for you Inky Antics, and I have two exclusive products, and I've got some Tombow, and I've got that trimmer from Westcott, I know. And I just really have to give everybody a big thank you, all of the manufacturers. Art Gone Wild and Friends, that's the parent company, Art Gone Wild and Friends, the parent company of Inky Antics, Darcy's Heart and Home, Versus, Northwoods, all of these stamp companies that you know and love, and also Stampers Anonymous. So all of those companies fall under the Art Gone Wild and Friends. And that's where the and friends come in. So a big thank you to Jackie and her staff for getting me all the product here early enough so that I could tape this YouTube in advance, because I normally don't. And a big thank you to Graphics, Kaylee at Graphics and her team there, because they got me the acetate that I needed to do this. And a big thank you to Tombow, because Tombow got their product here early enough for me to tape this. And then Westcott for the trimmer deal that they gave me. Oh my goodness gracious, you're going to love the deal I have for you on a trimmer that we can actually ship. Wahoo kachoo. I'm still not going to use it all the time. Don't go there. The chances of me pulling out a trimmer on a regular basis, slim and none, but there's a pretty good reason why you need to have either this trimmer or something like it so that you can do the projects we're going to be working with. Now again, interactive is the word for today, and that doesn't have to mean difficult. It really doesn't. I'm not going to be die cutting today. We are going to be stamping, and I'm going to take the majority of the time to show you how to put this interactive box together. But then I'll do some quick stamping and some quick coloring because the stamp sets that we have, there's 6 of them. If you're not into the interactive box at all, the stamp sets are just darling. And 2 of them are exclusive just to us. So we're very, very excited. All right, it feels odd not having a winner chicken dinner to talk about, but next week I will announce 2 sets of You're a Winner, Chicken Dinner, You're a Winner, Chicken Dinner. and for all of your thoughts and your prayers and your blessings, thank you so much. I am hoping that by the time you see this again, I have nothing but good news to share and positivity, and he has just come right through this. All right, I'm gonna tilt on down. We're gonna get started for today and get ready to go wahoo kachoo over Inky Antics. Truly amazing. Okay, I'm gonna tilt on down. Down we go. Bye, guys. All right, and then I'm gonna zoom on in and tilt down a little bit more and zoom on in a little bit more. And maybe, oh, I went the wrong way. Maybe I stopped there. Okay, so how cute are these little boxes? Are they darling? And wait, they open. No die to do this, honestly. Look at how cute is the little turtle on his back. And then you open it up and it says, hope you're back on your feet again soon. And then you can fill the little boxes with little cough drops or the little Advils. These boxes are so cute. And the 6 stamp sets that I picked to go with the box, 2 of them being exclusive, all are made so that you can use them all year round, and you can take sentiments from one and mix it with another. I really tried to focus on giving you the most you can get out of each of the stamp sets. Super cute. But then we also have You're Terrific. Look at the little mouse, and then you open it and there's tea in there. Haven't seen you in a long time. Ooh. Miss you. Is that the cutest you've ever seen? They are simply darling. And we will be doing something like that during our free make and take for today. And again, I'm going to start with, usually I start easy and work towards more advanced. Today I'm going to start with the box and how to make the box so that you're able to focus. You may want to take notes. So I'm just going to quietly, for just a moment, put my hands there. Hello, how are you doing? Ooh, ah. Okay, hopefully you've paused and you've come back with a piece of paper and pencil. However, I think you're going to be able to do this because it comes with instructions. Now you're saying, Stacy, you said no die. I meant it, no die. We have a stamp set to do this. And do you know what that means? That means it's affordable. Dies are always more than stamps. They just are. And this is a red rubber cling stamp, so it's not on a block. It used to be sold on a block. This is not a new stamp for Inky Antics, but new on cling it is. For us, they did it on cling so that we were able to ship it to you. Now, a die like this is going to cost a pretty penny, but a stamp like this is a whole lot less. I think this stamp set's $12.95, and then of course it's on a YouTube Yummy. So I want to show you how to make that box using just this stamp set. I think for me, the easiest thing to do is maybe to take a couple different colors of paper. I think I'm going to take a couple different colors of paper, and that way when I'm stamping and I'm putting it together, you can follow along as opposed to me just using white or black paper or a pattern paper. I can show you samples that are beautiful and just super, super cute, but I think for teaching, it's better that I stamp on 3 different colored papers so you can follow along. Now the paper I'm using today is my dotty paper. Can you see those little dots all over it? Super cute. It's got little Swiss dots all over it. And I have, I think I have 4 different collections of it. So I have Cools and Jewels and at any rate, I'm using the dotty paper because it has a nice textural element to it. It has a design to it without it being something that is, when scored, going to crack. If you're using a pattern paper, you do need to be a little more careful when you're going to be making this project, because when you go to score it and you fold it, it can crack and then you'll see that white in the center. Why is there white in the center of pattern paper? Because most double-sided paper is printed on. It starts out white and then it goes through a printer and they print the first side and then they print the back side. But if you tear it, it's white. If you tear a piece of cardstock, well, the cardstock's the same color all the way through. So when you score it and fold it, it can't crack to white because, of course, it's the same color all the way through. Also, you want to remember when you're doing this, if you have a pretty side of your paper versus a not so pretty side, this is a plain side, this is the pretty dotty side, you're always going to stamp on the back side. You want to stamp on the side that you don't want your box to be finished in. So I want to stamp on the side that doesn't have those pretty little raised dots. I want to do it on the back side. That way when I fold everything into each other, well, my finished project will have the pretty dotted side on it. So this is the stamp set that I'm going to be playing with to start with. And it's fairly simple to use. It is a little bit larger of a stamp. You can absolutely put it on a block, or we can ink it up and stamp directly to it. I've got my Memento ink here. I can certainly ink. And because we're just trying to get lines, it doesn't matter if my stamp is perfect, if my image is perfect. I'm just trying to get lines for me to follow. So ink. I'm not even going to care that I've got ink in the middles. I'm not even going to worry about that. Then I'm going to bring over my first sheet of paper, and with the back side, not the pretty dotted side, but with the back side, I'm going to stamp. And now I'm not using a block. I'm just going to lay this right down on top of it and just give a nice little back massage. Easy peasy. And then pull up. There we go. One down. I'm going to trim it on down. And let's do our next one because I need 3. 3 to make my box. Ink. I don't want to put my pretty side down against it. I want my pretty side facing me because that's what you want to see. When you're all done on your box, you want that pretty side facing you. Stamp. Nice little back massage. And can you see my hands are flat? I'm not doing this. My hands are flat, giving a nice little back massage. I'm not going over with a finger. I've got my hands flat against my stamp. And there we go, number 2. And one more. Now this is a red rubber cling stamp, which means if you wanted to put it onto a block, you can. The cling is going to hold directly to your block. What's a block? Again, remember, pretty side facing me. I don't want to stamp on the pretty side. What's a block? A block is a piece of acrylic. And you use it again and again and again. I've got this block set here for a little bit later. And All of these little blocks are in different sizes for me to use with different size stamps. Once you have your blocks, you never have to replace them. They'll last you the rest of your crafting time. And if you don't have blocks, you can, oh, I picked up underfoots. You can absolutely use a cutting plate from your Big Shot machine or your Spellbinder machine, or anything that you have where a stamp is going to cling to it. But blocks are a tool. Oh, not bad. I'm okay with that. Blocks are a tool. So once you have them, you shouldn't have to replace them. Now I've got a baby wipe, just a baby wipe, and I'm going to clean up my stamp. And again, because this is red rubber, cleans up easy peasy. The etchings are beautiful. Get one a little bit wetter. Not on my not on my paper. All right, so I'm all cleaned up. No problem. I'm going to put that off to the side, and I'm going to trim these out. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now, this is where scissors come in, not the trimmer. I am going to cut these out, and I'm going to follow the solid lines. The lines that are solid are the lines that need to be cut. The lines that are dashed are lines that are going to need to be scored. So I'm going to cut along, and you know what? Don't worry if you're not exact. It's okay. These are very, very, very forgiving. And they are predominantly straight cuts. So you can see I'm just cutting along the solid lines. I'm going to go back here and grab that one. And because the lines are there, it's not really a freehand because you're following along. All right. There's one, all cut out. Not very many cuts at all. Now I'm going to do the other two, and I'm going to go much quicker on those other two. Let me get my mess out of here. And again, just write down the line. And if it's not exact, don't worry. If you're a little wobbly, or if you'd like to use a trimmer, you can. See, and you can see that this stamped image is not 100%. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see it. I just need that line as a guide. And across the top. And here. And here. And that little piece will fall out, and here. And here, and that little piece will fall out. And last but not least, there. Okay, 2 down. How much time have I spent cutting? 2 minutes maybe? One last one to go. 1, 2. So if you are wanting to do this as a little crafty project with lots of friends, you could pre-stamp all of your paper and then let them cut. Or if you're doing it with kids, you could certainly stamp and cut their boxes out for them, and then they could put them together. And there, and there. Ta-da! Okay, all 3 are done. Let's get rid of my mess. So I wanted to do them in 3 different colors so you could follow along. Now, Oh, I didn't cut that one side off. Time to cut. Zoop. Okay. Okay, now they look like 3 of the same. All right, now I'm gonna start with the blue, and those dotted lines are where you need to score. This is where our trimmer comes in. This is not a full 12-inch trimmer. This is a 9-inch trimmer, which allows me to be able to ship this. What makes this trimmer so wonderful? It not only has a cutting blade, it has a scoring blade. Now, if you already have a Score Pal or something along that lines, you're not gonna need this at all. We used a bone folder before, but of course, if you don't have something for something to go ahead and get that crease in, if you don't have a little divot so that you can run your bone folder to help score, well, that makes it a little difficult. So like I said, there's a Martha Stewart one and Score Pal. But this trimmer not only has the cutting blade, it has a scoring blade, which means I may not use my cutting blade at all, but I'm going to use my scoring blade. And because this is less than 9 inches, I don't need a 12-inch trimmer to do this. So if you're primarily cutting mats and things for your layouts, lots of mats for your pictures or your card making, you might find that a 9-inch trimmer works just fine for you. And then it's got the little arm that slides out so you can line everything on up. But I need to score wherever I see dotted lines. Now, I'm not going to pay attention to this right now. I'm only going to score the outside dotted lines. And to do that, I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to lift up my little trimmer. I've got the channel is right here, so I can see where I need to be lined up. And again, if you're not 100%, it's still going to be okay. And I'm going to take the scoring blade. And it's important that it be the scoring blade, because if I took the cutting blade and I went up, I'd cut this piece right on off. But it's only paper. So if you do that, don't worry, just stamp again. So I've got a scored line there. Now I'm gonna turn here and I'm gonna line up. And I'm gonna score again. And then I'm gonna do the further one down right there. Got a dotted line right here. See if I can zoom in just a little bit more. Pull back just a little bit more. I've got a dotted line right here. I'm gonna line it up with the groove in my trimmer, use the scoring blade, and give a good score. And I think the only one I haven't done yet is this side. Okay. So now I have scored. Can you see the lines? They're all there, ready to go. And can you see I still have 2 solid lines left? Those solid lines need to be cut. I waited till after I scored to cut those, just because it's easier to score all the way up and then come back and cut. So let me do the pink one, and let's just be super fast about it. I'm just gonna go zip, zam, zoom. Wow, that pink is the same color as my trimmer. So I'm gonna get this one done, and I'm gonna flip it around, and I'm gonna get this one done, and then I'm gonna flip it around, and I'm gonna get that one done, and then I'm gonna slide it on down and get the last one. Okay, and you can see that they're there. $20.99 for this. Oh no, I don't think so. We need to have a conversation about that price. So that's what this retails for, is $20.99. But we're gonna do it as an SMS special for $9.99 because I think that's a much more accurate price. So thank goodness Westcott came through and we are able to offer it for $9.99, which makes my heart much happier. Now, I've got my scoring all done. Now I gotta cut those two. Remember, I've got those two lines that I didn't cut yet. 1, 2. Did I go all the way through? I think so. Okay, now I can start to fold. And anywhere there's a score line, I'm gonna fold my paper. And because you put that score line in there, it folds perfectly, just beautifully. Ha! Are you starting to see? Right? Now I've got this one that I scored earlier. Let's fold it. Okay. Are you starting to see? Now if I put these with the lid facing this way and this one with the lid facing that way, this way, I would end up making a box. So I've got this one facing flat and I've got this one laying on top of it pretty side up, and all my score lines are there, and I would end up making a box. Come on, there we go. Now can I pick it all up and have it all stay in place? Maybe? Oh yeah, okay, I'm close. All right, a box. Now these will tuck in, but there's the beginnings of your box. But you might be asking, what is that thing in the center? That is your window, and it is equally as easy to cut out. Again, all you have to do is follow the lines. Are they solid? That means cut. Are they dashed? That means score. So let's go ahead, and I'm just gonna pop a hole, and then I'm gonna grab my scissors and I'm gonna cut. Oh, I'm just gonna make a big old X. Big old X. Yeah. There we go. And last but not least, okay, so I've just made a big old X. But do you see I still have solid lines here? That means I need to cut those out. And since I've made a big old X, that's an easy peasy thing to do. Out with one. Out with two. Out with 3. And last but not least, 4. My window has started. I've already cut all the way up because I cut my big old X all the way through. But remember, I have dashed lines here. I got to do something with those dashed lines. Well, that's where my trimmer comes back in. So on those dashed lines, I'm gonna make sure I use my scoring blade, which is the darker pink, not the light pink, because the light pink will cut. And when I say it will cut, Here's a score. All nice and scored. But if I were to use my light pink, there's my cut. So you want to stay with the dark pink if you are using the Westcott trimmer that we have. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to score where those X's are, where those last 4 dashed lines are. And I'm just going to do my best to come as close as possible to lining it up. 1. These are very forgiving. I think that looks pretty good. 2. Do all 4 of them. I think that looks pretty good. 3. Well, that might have been a little light. Wow. And 4. All right, let's see how I did. And remember, it's only paper. So if you want to take basic white copy paper and start with that, make maybe 1 or 2 using that basic white copy paper. No problem. Look at, I made a window. Easy peasy. Now, I take some of my Stacy tape, or even glue dots would work for this if you needed to. Put some right here. And put some right here. And so I've got my Stacy tape, and it's a little bit thick for what I need, but it's going to work out just fine. Because it's a double-sided tape, it will stick to each other and stick to whatever else you need it to stick to. So I put it inside so that it actually kind of straddles a little bit on the score line. It's up here, it's a little bit there. Now all I have to do is expose my sticky and fold, and expose my sticky and fold, and expose my sticky come on, there we go, expose my sticky and fold, and last one, expose my sticky and fold. And now my window is forever in place. So far what we've done is we've stamped the stamp 3 times, and then we trimmed it out, and then we did our score lines so that it would fold. On one of them, we opted to have a window. We decided we wanted a window. And maybe we want to put a little acetate to cover that window, because we're going to put jelly beans in here, or we're going to put a hot cocoa mix in here, or we're going to put tea bags in here. Acetate. I'm going to trim this down to size. This is the graphics acetate, and I'm going to use my Stacy tape again to just tape it on down. Only this time, I'm not going to expose the sticky. I'm going to use it just as regular tape. So as long as you don't peel off the sticky, it's just a normal, really strong tape that is heat resistant. Oh, I can cut this one down a little bit more. It needs to trim down just a little bit more. It's heat resistant. It's super strong. You don't always have to expose the sticky. It's really affordable. My tape's a little bit longer, a little bit stronger, and at a really, really great price. So I'm just going to put all 4 down. And now my window is in place. So I've got half of my box ready to go. Half my box is ready to go. And again, I started with 1, 2, 3 of the exact same die cut or stamp. No die required, no die cutting, a pair of scissors. You can do this if you have a pair of scissors. And as I showed you, you don't even need to have a block to use this stamp. I just laid it straight down on my table, inked it up, straight down on my table, inked it up. Didn't even care if it was inked beautifully because nobody's gonna see it. Grabbed my paper, and with the pretty side facing you, if you're doing it this way, if I was stamping it on a block going this way, then I would need pretty side of the paper down. But since I'm stamping up, pretty side of the paper facing you, rub, rub, rub. Of course, I got ink all over my fingers, but that's all right. And done. So I did 3 of those, and that is what has brought us to where we are right now. Then I cut them out and I scored them. I made a window out of one of them because the guide is in there. The guide's in there, ready to go. And now I'm going to put my box together. So I've got one box laying flat where you can see all the lines, and I'm going to put some Stacy tape there. Now, this is where having the tape is very important, that it be as close to the top of my line. In fact, I'm going to cut this to make my edges a little crooked. I'm going to cut it to make it straight. And I'm going to put it all the way up to that flap. I'm not going to go into the flap. I'm going to go up to that first dotted line, and I'm going to keep it as close as I can to the edge of my box. So all the way up and as close as I can to the edge of my box, and trim off the back or the side, the end. Now, see how close it is all the way to the top? My flap still moves. Flap still moves. Let's do another piece for the other side. And I'm going to cut off the end so I have a nice straight edge all the way to that flap, but not into it. All the way down as close to the top as I can get, and cut off the rest. Okay, now all I have to do is expose my sticky and line everything up to make my box. Now the flaps have to be opposite. You can't have 2 flaps going in the same direction, because then you're just going to have a big old hole in the bottom. The flaps have to be opposite of each other so that you have a closed flap here and a closed flap here. So if you have it lying flat to you and you've got a flap facing this way, you know you need to have the other one facing here. And I'm going to peel my sticky. Take my liner off. And I'm going to bring over my first one and just line it right on up. Line it right on up. Done. Then I'm going to expose my sticky. And I'm just going to line it right on up. So I did it in 2 different colors so that you're able to follow along. Now I can close this up. And I can close this up. And I've made my box. But you're saying, Stacy, I can see that back there through there. I know, I know, I know. And if you wanted to cover that up so that nobody sees it, all you gotta do, yeah, I'm pulling this apart. All you gotta do is go ahead and cut a square to go right on top of it so that nobody sees it. Let's see if I can get close to, so I can bring my, well, no. Well, yeah, I could bring my stamp over and let's ink it up. Ink, 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 ink. You could absolutely freehand this. I probably would. Cut, cut, cut. Cut, cut, cut. Cut, cut, cut. Cut, cut, cut. So you just need a square. And like I said, I would probably freehand it. But then you can tape it into the middle so that nobody will see. Do I have another pink? One without my fingers all over it. Let's see. Cut. And cut. And let's see how close I am. I'm going to trim this on down just a little bit. Square it on up just a little bit. You could absolutely use your new $9.99 trimmer. Oh, I'm right there. Cut just a little bit off the top here. Take a little bit off the top. And let's take some Stacy tape and just tape it down super fast for you. Bit of Stacy tape right there. Expose my sticky and put it in. A little bit off. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'll trim. I'd rather trim. I think I put it down too hard, but all right. Then when you close it up, nobody can see that you have that pattern inside. Let's see if I can get my Stacy tape to stick, even though. Ready? See if it'll stick. Close up one side. Did I get it in there? There we go. And close up the other. So now you've got a darling little shaker box. Super cute that you can fill. This is actually got space in it. This isn't teeny, teeny, tiny. This has got room in it. You can put candies in here, lots of things in here. You can get tea bags in here. Yes, it's big enough to do that. It is a decent sized little box. But you may be saying, Stacy, well, you still have that yellow one. Why do you still have that yellow one? What are you going to do with that yellow one? Well, what if I wanted to add another little flap to this? What if I wanted to have another little flap that opens and closes? So the box has kind of a lid to it. Let's go ahead and I'm going to score super fast. I'm going to score right here and fold, because then I can take this and I could put it here to start making a flap. That means I need to cut off all this extra. Say goodbye. Goodbye. Put my little box back together again. Come on. There we go. Super cute, right? But again, you're saying, but Stacy, you can see here. I know, it's okay. Just grab a piece of whatever and cut yourself out a square. This one I freehanded. I didn't even use the stamp. Could have used the trimmer. Probably would be done freehanding by now. And I can tape it right in there. So I cut off all the extras. The only thing I need out of that last piece of paper that I stamped out of the 3 is just this. That's it. Let's grab some Stacy tape. You would do a better job of taping than I am. And let's cover up that center, but I wanted to leave a little bit of the yellow as a mat. And then a piece of Stacy tape right there. You make 2 of these. By the time you're done with 2, you are a pro. And there are instructions. It doesn't take long at all once you get going. Now I want to make sure I don't put my edge on a side that's supposed to open or close. I don't want to do that. I want to put it on an edge that's taped down. So I can put this one right there. And now I've got it. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. And you've made a box. Now normally yours would not necessarily be 3 colors, but I wanted you to see where each color ends up on the box. Because now it's up to you to decorate. Do you want to stamp on the front? Do you want to stamp on the inside? Maybe you don't want the window at all. Maybe all you want to do is ink up. Boy, I've got it all over my hands. Pretty side facing you if you're stamping with your stamp facing up. Pretty side facing you. One down. Maybe I will wipe my hands so I don't get so much of that over me. Pretty side facing you, and I'm just using Memento ink. Whatever black ink you have is going to work just fine. Give a good little back massage. You don't care if the stamp comes out perfect because all you're using it for is a guide. Pull up, You just are using it as a guide. And then start cutting out. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not very many cuts at all. Cut your flaps out. Cut your flaps out. And I do find that scissors work better than a trimmer on these because you've got those little intricate angles, but all the cuts are straight. 1 down. 1 to go. Cut, cut, cut. So can you see how many uses you could use this box for? Any kind of little decoration, any kind of little craft that you need to do for somebody. You could fill it with potpourri. You could fill it with Kleenex if they're not feeling well. What a little thoughtful gift that you can make in relatively no time at all. You see how quick I'm cutting. And the stamping doesn't have to be perfect because the stamp isn't what's going to be shown. So it's the one time where if your stamping isn't A-okay, you don't have to go back and restamp again. These are just guides. So I've got the 2 of them ready to go. Bring over my score blade. Make sure I'm using my score. And then again, be forgiving to yourself. If it's not exactly on the dotted line, okay, let it go. It's fine. You're just getting close. That's all you need to do is be close, just like in horseshoes. Can't be close with the lottery numbers. Sorry. That you have to be dead on. I always say that if I win the lottery, I'm going to open up the doors to the store. I'm going to put a sign on the front door that says, leave some for others. You know, at Halloween where maybe you're not home, you were taking your kids out trick-or-treating, but you had to leave the bucket of candy out for other kids and you left a little sign, leave some for others. If I ever won the lottery, I would just leave the front doors open with a little sign that says, leave some for others and let everybody have at it. And I promised that I would share with the SMS staff. Let's see, that one's not done, this one's done. And score away. And then add those last few cuts. 1 down. 1 down. 1 down. 1 down. Fold. Fold, 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 and fold, fold, put a little bit of my Stacy tape as close to the top as I can get. To the edge as close as I can get. Cut off the extra. A little bit of Stacy tape. As close as I can get to the top. Oh, that was a loud car. Close as I can get to the top. And cut. Expose my Stacy tape, and remember that if you've got a flap going this way, you need to have a flap coming back at you. So I'm going to fold that up, and I'm going to line these 2 up. then I'm going to take off my sticky here. And I'm going to line these two up. And I didn't put a window into this box. Now all I have to do is close it up. And now I've just made a box. So with a window, with a flap, without a window and a flap, you could absolutely take this one and we could cut this off here and cut here. And cut there. And let's see, here's my top and my bottom. And I don't need any of this now. All I need is this piece right here. I can use either side, the one with the hashes or without. I think they recommend you use the side with the hashes. So I can cut this piece off here. Do a quick scoring on my dotted line. Remember to use the score blade, not the cut. Tape it on. And now I've made without the window. Which do you like more? And of course I would take a piece of paper. Yes, of course I would. I would take a piece of paper and cut down so that I don't see. That was a horrible cut, Stacy. Oh my gosh, that was awful. Let's see, is that going to be big enough? Oh, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. I can cover that up so that nobody will ever know that there's a stamp underneath it. You can do this. It really is very simple. Remember, we've only used one stamp. That's all we've used. We haven't stamped multiple different images. We've just used one stamp. Oh, and I got my fingers dirty again. Oh my goodness gracious. And then let's put some tape on my box and cut. One stamp allows you to make many different types of boxes. I could put the window in the flap. So I've got a top and a bottom, and we can put this over here. And now I've got, oh, I'm not stuck down that great, but that's okay. You get the idea. Do you like it solid? Would you rather have a window right here? Then you just make your box as is, and instead of putting this piece on, I would cut this out and put my acetate here and then cover up the acetate if I wanted to. Or just do those edges so that you don't see where you've taped the acetate. You can absolutely cut this out to make a window, so that you have a window looking into here where you could have a stamped image here or a saying here in the window on the top. You have options with this, and the stamp at only, I thought it was going to be a whole lot more. I was really worried because I saw this and I loved it. It made my heart so happy because it was so universally accessible to so many of you. Those who don't have die cuts, those who are new to stamping, those who have never made something interactive or 3D before. I thought, oh my gosh, with one little stamp, you can do all of that. But then I was worried about the price, what the price was going to be, because you just never know. But Art Gone Wild and Friends, Inky Antics, Jackie, because it was on a wood mount, and wood mount costs like at least 30% more, and it's harder for us to ship. And Jackie said, oh no, we'll just take it right off the wood and make it a cling so that customers can add it to their block and stamp, or they can stamp it upside down. And because there's no wood, we can do it at $12.95. And I was just beside myself because how cute is this? Can you imagine little candy canes in here or little goodies? The possibilities are endless. Now, how do you decorate these? Well, that becomes up to you. It really does. Then that's on you how you want to decorate them. Or do you just want the single box, or do you want it with the flapper? Do you want a single box with the window but no flap? How do you want to make it? How do you want to decorate it? So I'm going to quickly show you, because some of you may have not ever seen before. I'm going to use my Tombow pencils, and I'm going to use, there's 2 exclusive sets this week in this week's YouTube. We have 2 exclusive sets. So there's 6 sets total on the stamps, and they're $11.95 a set. And I loved 4 of them, but then there were a few that I felt were missing a few little odds and ends. So again, Art Gone Wild and Friends, Inky Antics, we took some from a couple different sets to make up these sets so that they could be exactly what I wanted and what I envisioned. And we added a few little sentiments and just darling. So how do you color? Well, coloring doesn't have to be difficult either. Coloring can be easy peasy. These are clear stamps. And that's what they look like when you peel it off. I've peeled the nice little chickie off. So cute. I'm going to bring over my blocks now because I'm going to need them. This is too hard to ink up and put down and stamp that way. It's not anywhere near as big as my box stamp. Look at how small it is in comparison. So this you're going to want to have a block for. And let's see if my little 2x2 is big. Nope, gonna need to be a little bit bigger. So that is where having blocks come in handy, because it clings to it and then it peels off, and then it clings to it and then it peels off. So now you're able to stamp and color any way that you see fit. Just remember, you really want to use an ink that is not going to smear if you add water or gamsol or anything to it. That would be your Memento Black or your Hero Arts India ink. These 2 inks don't move with water. And there's a reason I don't want them to move with water. Now I'm going to bring my gush pad over. I didn't need to use that before, but I'm going to use it now. I've got my gush pad, which is just a stamping pad. It just gives you the opportunity for that stamp to make the best contact with your paper, because it's going to sink in a little bit. If you're having trouble stamping and you're stamping on a hard surface, when you do that, your stamp has no place to go. It can't gush down and sink into the paper because you're on a hard surface. But you put it on a stamp mat, and a stamp mat isn't the same as a mouse pad. Mouse pads just aren't quite thick enough. And I'm not the only one who makes a gush mat. Mine is about twice this size. It's an 8.5 by 11, so we can ship it to you. But Doris, not Darcy's, Doris, our original stamp mat is what we used to sell, and it was huge, and we used to have to cut it in half to ship it to you. So we decided to do our own in a size that we could easily put into shipping, and they're very inexpensive. It's $1.99, and again, this is half of a stamp mat. So you can cut it into halves, and then you can cut it into fourths, you can share it, but I promise you it will make your stamping better. Then you take your ink. This is a line stamp, so it may not look like there's much ink on there. You may think that you've got to go like this, and like this, and like this, and keep going, because you look at it and I don't see anything. Is there anything there? Yes, I promise you. And then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and up. Perfect impression. We are not doing chest compressions. We're not trying to revive the stamp. So watch, a little bit of ink, done. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, up. Perfect. You do not have to push so hard. You just have to make good contact, because this is a line stamp. You don't have to go in there. And push so hard. You don't have to do that. And what that does with a clear stamp is it makes the stamp go oosh, and it kind of gushes out. And sometimes you get a blurry line if you're trying to do chest compressions. It's okay. You don't have to do that. Trust me. Then to color, that's up to you. I'm going to use my Tombow pencils today to keep it quick and simple for everybody. You can use Tombow markers and watercolor. You can use watercolor pencils. I'm just going to use basic colored pencils. And there is a difference between a colored pencil and a watercolor pencil. This is a colored pencil. It looks almost exactly like a watercolor pencil. But a watercolor pencil, you would color, take a paintbrush, get it wet, and it will take that pencil into a paint. This is a colored pencil, which means it has a waxy surface. It's not meant to be used with water at all, but very, very easy to use. You can either choose to go in and just color your whole little chickie all the same color. But when I do that, it kind of looks like you've colored it with a crayon or a pencil. It absolutely does. And I will show you in just a moment. Let me get him all colored. And I'm going to do his little nose in an orange. So, can you see he kind of looks like he's been colored with a crayon? You've got some white areas. That's what it looks like if you don't smooth him out. You go in there and you can just keep adding your color on top and try to fill it in as best as you can. But usually they always kind of look like you colored it with a colored pencil. It never has that lovely smooth finish that you want. So with a colored pencil, there is a very specific product you use. It's called gamsol, mineral spirits, however you want to call it. You may own this from years gone by and forget while you even have it. Gamsol takes the wax in your colored pencil and it kind of melts it just a little bit. It melts it so that those bumpy lines and those uneven, they smooth out. So it looks like you used a Copic marker or an alcohol-based marker. Now with gamsol, you use what's called a paper stub. This is a piece of paper, compressed, thick, doesn't bend, very compressed paper. And it allows you to add enough pressure to that so that it smooths the color out. Can you use a paintbrush? Not really, no, because a paintbrush does not let you get in there and apply pressure. Why do you use the paper stub? Because it's got the stiffness, the hardness to it. It allows you to use the gamsol sparingly, and it can be sharpened, and I'll show you. So the Inky Antics gamsol has this little sponge top. Yours may not. The nice thing about the Inky Antics is that sponge top. Do not turn it over and push. Ooh, it will just pour right out, and you're never going to be able to get that gamsol back into your bottle. You also never want to take your little paper stub and put it directly into your bottle, because as you can see, I'm just rolling it around. It's paper. It's starting to absorb. If you put your paper stub directly into your bottle of gamsol, it's going to go and absorb all the way into that paper stub, and you can never get it out of that paper stub. It will dry and it will be gone forever. You can't wring it back out. So that's the nice thing about the gamsol from Inky Antics, is it has that little top on it. If you already have gamsol or mineral spirits and you don't want to buy a new bottle, I get it, don't. Go and get a little container, like a little nail from Sally Beauty or something, put a little cotton in it, put some of your gamsol in there and dip your stub into the cotton. That way you're not using this up when you don't need to be. You're not overusing when it's just going to go to waste. So just find yourself a little something, put a little cotton in there, and I mean, maybe you have a little thing that holds ketchup, I don't know, and just put it in there, some cotton, and throw some gamsol in there and use that as your sponge top. Now, once you have some gamsol on there, all you have to do is go in there and add some pressure and smooth. So, I'm hoping you can see the difference. I didn't put gamsol on this side at all, and I put gamsol over here. Do you see how it brightened the color? It brightened the color, and it smoothed it all out over here, but not on this side. If I go in and I finish smoothing, it's taking the wax from that pencil and melting it just with some liquid. So I get a perfectly smooth looking chickadee. Isn't it cute? But what if you wanted to add dimension to your chickie? Maybe you don't want them all one color. Okay, you're going to take your colored pencil and you are going to draw right down one side and maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll color this side and have his highlight kind of in the middle. So, do you see how much white space I've left here? I've put a little bit of my pencil here and I've put a little bit of my pencil there. I'm going to take my gamsol, dip in, make sure I'm nice and wet, and I'm going to color him out, which means I'm going to start. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. Oh, wrong way. Oh, what did I do? No, I don't want that. Okay. See, high tech, not so much. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to start on the side. Oh, what is that on? I've got a little box. I don't want that little box. Can I turn that little box off? Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so I'm going to start on one side here, and I'm going to drag that color into the center. Then I'm going to start here and I'm going to pull that color out. So I've got my gamsol And I'm going to start to pull that color into my center. And then I'm going to take my color here and pull that into my center. And can you see how he's shaded now? See the difference? Solid color, shaded color. Did you see how quickly I did that? I mean, it was just bam, bam, bam. Soften that color out. And because it's not a watercolor pencil, I could take, I don't know, maybe a little bit of orange if I wanted, and I could add that orange along one side and along the other side. See how I've got that orange now on both sides? And I could take that gamsol and I could blend that out. So now my chickie's even got more definition because he's kind of darker on both sides. And I just blend it right on out. It doesn't look so much orange anymore. It just looks like my chickie's even got more definition. One of the easiest ways to color is with colored pencils and gamsol. You can be done in no time at all, and yet it looks like somebody took an alcohol-based marker and colored that. Or if you just want to keep them all one color, you can do that as well. So if I took his wings and I put a little color down here and a little color over here and a little gamsol, and I just took his little wings right out and had them kind of lighten up as they go to the edge. I just used less pressure. Oh, he looks so cute. Just ask me, I'll tell ya. Love him. I could do his hat and his feet. Oh, his little tail. I probably have enough yellow on my stubby to do his tail, and I could just draw his little feetsy in there and just do his little feet in orange and his little feet in orange and his little beak in orange. And then if I wanted to smooth that little beak out a little bit, no problem. He's getting to be so cute. And then you cut him out and you decorate your box. Let's just cut him on out. And then you start to decorate your box. How cute is he? And he has little balloons, so you could put the balloons on the inside, and it's a happy birthday, so you could fill this up with, I don't know, whatever their little favorite candies are as a cute little birthday gift. Oh my gosh. Oh, you could fill this up with candles for how old they are. Oh my, you might get a smack on the back of the head for that one, but it would be cute and funny. Look at how easy that is. And all that is using colored pencils. We're using the Tombow colored pencils. Tombow's a great brand. We use their pens all the time, the dual brush pens. Their colored pencils are wonderful and they're affordable. And you can be this successful, truly you can. Just easy peasy coloring. Now, remember I told you you can sharpen your stubby. So now you've got yellow on it and you say, but Stacy, I wanted to do my chickie in, I don't know, maybe you want a purple chickie. I have no idea. Maybe you've got a friend whose favorite color is purple and you want to do a purple chickie. So you've got your purple going on. but your stubby has yellow. What do? Well, the gamsol that we have from Inky Antics is sold in a set. It has the gamsol, it has 2 stubs, and it has this sandpaper that is just the right grit to sharpen, as you would say, your stubby. And you're just going to sharpen that paper until that yellow is gone. Sharpen away. And then when you've got it where you want it, and if you can't, if this is not going to use, now I can use this several more times, but eventually the sandpaper is gone. You just pick up and you rip it off, and there's your next one. There are sheets and sheets and sheets of sandpaper, and then you just sand your next color off. So your stubbies, you don't have to have one for every color, not at all. You just need to have a couple of them, and they give you 2 in each kit. So then I can go on with my gamsol. Come in here, grab my purple, and pull it out. Look at the difference with gamsol, without. So let's grab this one. And let's pull it out. And I'm adding good pressure. And I'm swirling and moving. And then as I get towards the center, I lighten my touch so that I have that shading in that shadow. And if I need to, I can go back with my pencil and I can make it a little darker on the outside edge. Make it a little bit darker, and then go in and don't pull it as far, just kind of soften it so it stays dark over there. So that gives even a bigger, more dramatic shadow. Super cute, super easy to do. Colored pencils are different than watercolor pencils. This requires no water at all. And you're not so much painting as you're just kind of pushing that color where you want it to go. All right, so we made boxes today. I used a trimmer. I know, wonders never cease. We made boxes today. We made a plain box. We made a box that has a window. You could make a box without a flap. You could make a box that has the window in the flap. You can do a whole bunch of different things with a very, very, very basic stamp. Wonder where I put my basic stamp. It's here somewhere. Anybody seen it? Hello? Hello? Oh, right here. With a super easy stamp to use. We made all the boxes, some scissors, and a score tool. That's what you need. You can do this. It's by Inky Antics. Looks like that in the package. Let me back up just a little bit because we'll have samples. Looks like that in the package. And from this one $12.95 item that's on sale, don't worry, I'll put it on sale, you're able to do what some can only do with a die if you're a die cutter. So cute. Put your little chickadee on top. Oh my gosh. And then again, this is a birthday chickadee. So cute. So we did that, and we used, here, we have 6 different sets of stamps that are all on sale. We have the trimmer that has the scoring blade. The cutting blade is fine. I mean, yes, you can use it to cut, but I use it to score. And being that it's $20.99 and we'll have it on a YouTube Yummy at $9.99, and we can ship it. We have to fold the packaging just a little bit to get it in, but we can ship it. And that's going to allow you to put all of those scores into your box so it just folds easy peasy. 2 pieces of tape on either side put this box together. And if you want the lid, the flap, then it's a 3rd piece of tape. Really, 2 pieces of tape to put the main box together. So we've got the trimmer for you. We've got colored pencils by Tombow for you. But most importantly, we have the stamps that go with it. Oh, and all the paper that I used. We've got my Dottie paper. So I'm going to put my Dottie paper in the YouTube Yummy, and I've also got my shimmer paper, because a lot of you were asking about the shimmer paper from last week, and that was Die Cuts with a View, but it's discontinued. So I've got my shimmer paper. We'll put my shimmer paper also in the YouTube Yummy. But most important are the stamps that go with that cute little box. Okay, so this one goes here. All right, so here's our first stamp. This one's exclusive. It has Reindeer Crunch and Dear Santa, we left some cookies for you to eat, so take a break to rest your feet. Reindeer Crunch and To and From. So let me show you the samples that we did with this one. Here's a card. So if you're not into the boxes at all, the background was done with that stamp set, the sentiment was done, and the reindeer was done. Super cute. But then we have the boxes. I know, right? And you can fill it with whatever candies you want. Look at it, it's got the little Santa, and the Santa comes in that set. I know, isn't he cute? So now the boxes are all one color, unlike the multicolored boxes I did, but I wanted you to see the pieces and how they go together. Now you can see when you do them in all one color, just how beautiful they look. And then we have the Reindeer Crunch, To and From. So no window at all. The To and From, open it up and it's got whatever goodies you want to put inside of it. So that is the first exclusive set that we have from Inky Antics. The second one is the birthday one that I was playing with. So cute. And it's got happy birthday to you and tweet friend and happy birthday to you and hello. So we took a little bit of a set that they already had and added to it. And look at the birthday card. How cute is that, right? And then you open it up and there's the sentiment. Now this is using the stamp set without using the box at all. But here it is as the box, and they put it on a wobbler. So the little chickie, he moves. Open it up, and you can have any kind of candies in there or whatever makes your heart happy. That's the second exclusive set. Then we have the darling little turtle that has Hope You're Back on Your Feet Again Soon, You Turn My World Upside Down, Smile Just for You. How cute is he, right? And you can take these sentiments and work them with the other stamp sets. We tried to get it so that your stamp sets, you could interchange them. Hope you're on your feet again soon. Love that. You turn my world upside down. Look at how cute. And then a card. Just for you. And so cute, so easy to color using the gamsol and the colored pencils. Then we have our Thinking of You, and Wishing you a beautiful day. This would be great for Mother's Day. And the samples. Pretty, right? And it's a shaker. How cute is that? Then we have Thinking of You. And even the paper was made. Paper was made using the stamp. There's the stamp. There's the paper. So we just stamped again and again and again and then colored it in. Thinking of You. And then you can fill it with little chapsticks. The box does fit chapsticks. You can put chapsticks in there. Very cute, right? And then I have a card. So cute. And then we have Thanksgiving. Here is the stamp set. And Happy Thanksgiving Day. Go ahead, stuff yourself silly. Happy Gobbler Day. Gobble till you wobble. And our samples. Right? How cute is that? Gobble till you wobble. Is that darling? And then a super cute card. Go ahead, stuff yourself silly. And our last set is the tea time set. So the cute little mouse in the teacup and the teapot. Our friendship suits me to a T. Sending you a cup of love. You're terrific. And then the samples. So you're terrific with the bags of tea. And the miss you stamp comes with it. Look at the tea bag. So cute. And sending you a cup of love, where we just did a cute little image in there, and then you can fill it in with whatever. You can put anything you want in the box. But the idea is that you open it up and bam! It's a quick, easy gift for somebody. And it's crafty and it's handmade and they will appreciate that. So cute. All right, so like I said, there's the 6 stamp sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the turtle, the 6. So there'll be an I Want It All on all the stamp sets, including the box. So you can do an I Want It All. You can get the individual ones if you love them. We'll have the gamsol on sale. We'll have the pencils on sale. We'll have a phenomenal price on my trimmer with the scoring blade. And I think that if you get these, you'll find that you'll use them again and again because they just lend themselves to a quaint and special little gift that's handmade, and even kids can do them. So I'm gonna tilt them. Oh, last but not least, I totally forgot graphics. It doesn't come in a pretty package, but this is the acetate. So the acetate that I used, you get 25 sheets. They're 8.5 by 11. Again, it's not the most prettiest of packaging, but it gets the job done, and we're able to offer it also at a super great deal from Graphics. So we will have the plastic that I used to make the windows. All right, you guys, I'm going to tilt on up. I'm gonna tilt on back now. Hopefully I don't press a wrong button. I'm gonna say, okay, it's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. That's where you're gonna find all of this great product. I am going to be loading this and then leaving to get ready for Mr. SMS's surgery tomorrow. We are headed down to the hospital in just a few short hours to get everything checked in and get him all settled in. And then we're just gonna, it's not even holding our breath or crossing our fingers. It's just gonna be okay. So, any of you out there that are under the weather, I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers because you have kept me and my family in yours. Thank you so very much. All right, you'll find all of this on sale, and I will see you next week when I announce winner from 311 and 312. And until then, it's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Bye, everybody.